Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back with another tag. There's a lot of good tags around at the moment, so now I've finished decorating, or I've finished decorating one room actually. I'm going to have a week's break and then do my bedroom with my friend. So, but yeah, I thought I'd try and catch up on some videos. So this one is a VR to Erin at the Witches of Saturn. And this, I think, is her first community tag, so that's lovely. And this is called #PB January Decks, which I believe stands for Peanut Butter January Deck. So these are pairings that go together like peanut butter and jelly, or if you're here in the UK, peanut butter and jam. It's not jelly. Jelly is... Jelly's made with gelatine. Jam is made with sugar and fruit. But anyway, I saw this on Erin's channel, obviously. I've also seen it on Tammy Pie's, and I saw Lady Cara had done a VR also. So I'll put all the information in the description box. So without further ado, because I've got quite a lot of pairings, and I think these are, the prompt is really that to choose pairings that they, I can't get my words out, to show my best pairings that I have in my practice as of now, I think. And then we might well do this again in 6 months' time and have a look and see what's changed. And I thought this tag would go really well with the #low buy no buy and the #stop buying start reading. So I will put those in the description box as well if I remember, which I hope I will. So I've got quite a lot. I think Erin did 5 prompts. I've got 7, mostly with one pairing, a couple with 2. So the first pairing, the first prompt was the inner child, an inner child pairing. Let's just put that over there. So this is the inner child cards. This one here, the Fairy Tale Tarot by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner. I love this deck. I really wasn't sure about it when I first got it because the cards are huge and the cardstock is shocking, but it's actually a really, really sweet deck. And I found that it pairs really, really well with Caroline Miss's healing cards. I've got 2 decks actually to show you that I think pair well with this deck. So the first one is, as I said, Caroline Miss's healing cards, and this one is not just on the aesthetic, because actually I choose most of my pairings based purely on aesthetics. For me, if they look right together, then they will generally read well together, and that is it for me. It's no more complicated than that. But this deck is so soft and so sweet, and is certainly an inner child deck, and I think that these healing cards, they're very holistic. They talk about simple everyday things that you can do. Got my cards all upside down, haven't I? The root cause of all disease is a negative attitude about taking care of yourself. Now is now. Are you going to be here or not? With the Guardian of Hearts, which I cannot remember who that is. That could be any of the court cards for the hearts, if I'm honest. Suffering stems from ignorance, hatred and craving, with the 8 of Wands. Illness is not a punishment but a stimulant to life. And the reason why I think this is such a good pairing is because I know very well that many illnesses come from being out of balance. And I think that because I was undiagnosed with my health problems for such a long time, and I just sort of kept going and going. My life got so badly out of balance that it made my health worse, and restoring some balance in my life has made the world of difference to my health. I mean, I'm certainly not cured from fibromyalgia, and obviously my autism, my brain is never going to change really, but having balance in my life and putting in very basic self-care that I wasn't practicing really when I was younger and I was working. See, look at that, look. May your heart sing and your soul rejoice, experience the wonder of life. And we've got the 9 of hearts, which is the 9 of cups. And always leave some space within when you eat. And on the back of these cards, you get a little message also. So like I was saying, I just really believe that over many years and many decades of us not living authentically, not taking care of ourselves, living life at 100 miles an hour when really our body and mind only wants to go at half of that most of the time. You know, these things are real causes of ill health. And it took me, you know, retiring from work and really doing some inner shadow work, some inner child work. It really took all of those things for me to address the balance in my life much, much better. So this next deck, and I think this is a lovely pairing actually. This is the Healing with Fairies by Doreen Virtue. I've had this deck such a long time. It's a very simple and childlike deck, I think. And I think it goes beautifully with these inner child cards. They're very sweet. Look, we've got lots of fairies. Aesthetically, this just works for me. And I really like that there's not a lot of information on the oracle cards, actually. I usually only want a word or two. Oh, look at that, look, the fairy godmother. The 5 of Hearts, raising your standards and kindness. Kindness to yourself, hey? So yeah, I think these are lovely pairings, to be honest. So these are the inner child cards with the healing cards from Caroline Myths and the Healing with Fairies. Okay, so my second category is Fae decks. And I've got quite a few Fae decks actually, and this is my favourite pairing. This is Brian Frouds' Fairy Oracle deck, which I don't have a box for anymore. And this is the Forhaxa, the Enchanted Forhaxa Tarot by MJ Cullinane. And the reason why I like these together is I just think aesthetically they just work really together. They're both Fae decks, obviously, but I just think the colour palette, the whole vibe of them, the whole feel of them just works really, really well together. You can't get a lot of information from Brian Frouds' cards when you look at them from the names or the words on the cards. You really do need to look at the book for this oracle deck, but I just find that aesthetically they work really, really well together. I like looking at them. Look at her, look, the green woman with the Page of Earth, actually. The World, look, with the Singer of Connection and the She of, I don't know what that says. But whenever I use this pairing, I really enjoy looking the cards up in the book for Brian Froud. Collective of Pixies, the Hermit and the Lady of the Harvest. Oh, look, the 7 of Earth. Don't you think they work really well together? I think they're lovely. Oh, and as per usual, all of my cards are upside down. That's a nice pairing, isn't it? There's something really cheeky about Brian Frouds' deck. I really quite like it, even though some of the creatures are a little bit scary to look at. So yeah, I think the Forhaxa, the Enchanted Forhaxa, and Brian Frouds' Fairy Oracle, I think that's a lovely pairing, and I've used this a lot in my practice. Okay, so my next category comes under, I think Erin had got emotional, and I've called it sort of feminine, really, because I've got the lovely tarot here in the middle, and then I've got the Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew as the oracle cards, and I think this is a beautiful pairing. Like I said, it's very, very feminine. It's very goddess based. The lovely tarot is based a lot on Hindu mythology, but there are people from all kinds. There are images and people from gods and goddesses from lots of different cultures and sort of psychic perspectives, I suppose. So yeah, but I just think the colour palette of this works really, really well. It's very, very soft and pretty, and I just love it. I found recently this image here, Intention, on eBay, made into like a ceramic tile, a hanging tile that you can put on the wall. I may well be buying that to go on my wall in my tarot room. I think that's so pretty, isn't it? There's lots of flowers and it's just really, really sweet and pretty, I think, this deck. Look at that, look, it's lovely. I don't often find myself needing the guidebook too much with this Goddess Dream Oracle either. You know, patience through the darkness to the light, the Fool, imagination, let your dreams take flight. I mean, that's what the Fool's doing. He's letting his dreams take flight, isn't he? He's like coming out of the darkness there also into the light, isn't he? So there's just lots and lots of information that you can take from these cards. They are beautiful. Look at the Queen of Discs there. Rhythm, tune into the natural rhythm of life, which the Queen of Pentacles definitely does. And then connection, we're all connected. Just beautiful. The Eight of Wands, all that movement, dance, let your body move, self-exploration, fairy tales and myths. Look at that, look. Gorgeous, gorgeous. One of my favourite pairings, I think, this one. Okay, so for my next pairing, my category, I've called it Celtic, because I've got here, this is the Celtic Elemental deck, which is a new deck. And I haven't got all the cards here, actually. Some are in the box up on my cupboard. For some reason, I didn't get the box down. This is what I've got left of the deck, because I've been edging it. I've recently modded this deck. You see, I've still got a few more cards left to put the gold on the edges of them. I'm in the middle of that at the moment. But I modded this deck. I took the borders off the sides and I rounded the corners. The cardstock and the finish of it was absolutely terrible. So I've done my best with it and I'm much more happy with it, actually. It's a beautiful deck. And this one here is Art Through the Eyes of the Soul, which I've had for a long time, by Cheryl Yambrach Rose. She does these such beautiful, romantic, sort of dreamy type art. And I just think these go really, really well together, actually. Look at those, look. Death and the Green Man. Don't they go well together? Run wild for a while with the 4 of air and the 6 of earth. Take action with the 8 of wands and the 10 of earth. Protection, return from the underworld and the 9 of earth. Artemis, defend what is dear to you with strength and the 6 of fire. Look at that, look. Wouldn't you be happy to get those in a reading? This deck is quite hard to pair actually as an oracle deck, so I'm really glad. I've often paired it with the Druidcraft Tarot actually, so I'm really pleased to see this. Be the powerful space between opposite poles with the Hermit and the 5 of fire. Guard and protect the sacred waters of life with justice and the 5 of air. Conflict and justice, see, really, really lovely, isn't it? Like I said, I've been modding this deck, but I haven't finished edging it, so I haven't worked with it as such. I've just had a few oracle decks out just to see what might work with it, but I plan to quite soon. I think it's a kind of spring summer type deck, so that's probably what I shall use it for. So yeah, there we go. That is the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle with the Celtic Elemental Tarot. Okay, so I have 3 prompts left. This one is the Witchy decks, and I've got Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot here, which I've really enjoyed working with over the sort of early part of the winter, and this is the Old Ways Magic Oracle by Naomi Cornock. I've also got another deck to show you after this, another oracle deck, so I had 2 choices for this. But already you can see this aesthetic, it really, really works, doesn't it? The Winter Star, Community, Winter Temperance. They're beautiful. I love her artwork, Naomi's. Again, I'm quite tempted to buy one of her prints to put up on the wall. It's beautiful. So yeah, I really, really like this. I've got a video I did just before Christmas, I think, where I paired the Seasons of the Winter Witch Tarot with about 10 different oracle decks. And I think all of them worked, really. It's a really nice deck to pair. Initiate of Winter Cups with Gentle and the Master of Winter Pentacles. How sweet is that? 8 of Winter Cups with Death and Winter Consequences. And grief as well. Strength, Connect and Hermit. So yeah, I think that's a lovely pairing actually, the Old Ways. Really, really sweet. Okay, and so the other deck that I have to pair with the Witch, the Winter Witch, is the Call of the Morrigan Oracle deck, which I think works beautifully. Look at that, look. I think even the back of the card works really well, doesn't it? So yeah, other than the borders being different colours, I think the aesthetic of this works really, really well. Ten of Winter Cups, Cycles and Initiate of Winter Swords, sorry. Master of Winter Wands, Offering and Self-Reflection. The Winter Chariot Oath and the Seven of Winter Swords. What do you think? Which one did you like best? The Old Ways or the Morrigan? Three of Winter Swords, Death, and the Eight of Winter Swords. That's not very nice, is it? Four of Winter Wands, Justice, and the Winter Tower. You. Initiate of Winter Wands, Consequences, and the Master of Winter Swords. Really, really like that pairing. Okay, so two more categories. So this next one, I've named it the historical or medieval category. I've got quite a few sort of medieval historical type decks, tarot decks, but not only this oracle deck, well, maybe another one actually. Yeah, so this is the Serpent and Peacock art version by Libra Moon, which is just a brilliant deck. And then the oracle in the middle is the Mystical Healing Reading Cards by Inna Sigel, and you don't often see this deck on TarotTube, but I think it's a really underrated oracle deck. It's got actually a fantastic book. It's a really good book for shadow work. There's an action in it. It doesn't pull any punches, to be honest. I think, you know, it addresses all of the things that we're all guilty of doing or not doing throughout our life, the lessons that we need to learn. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant oracle deck, actually. It's the one, you know, I've got like the Golden Tarot, the Touchstone Tarot, the Medieval Europe Tarot, the is it Byzantine or Byzantine? I'm never sure how to say that. I've got that also. And I always pair this oracle with any of those decks. So this is the Serpent and Peacock and the Mystical Healing Reading Cards. And look, don't the colours go beautifully? I suppose they would, because they're all showing art from a similar period in time, aren't they? When they use these very rich blues and reds and... But I just, they stand out at you, don't they? And they really jump out. And I love strong colours, actually. They really speak to me. Page of Swords, examine your integrity, with the Page of Wands. Five of Pentacles, show self-respect, with the Six of Pentacles. The Devil, with contemplate death and beyond, and the Three of Pentacles. Look at those, look, the colours are just amazing, aren't they? I really, really like these two decks together. Whenever I look at these older sort of historical decks, I always think, oh, I should work with them more, I should work with them more. And I don't know why I don't, actually. I think I'm probably slightly intimidated by them, really, because the artwork is so different from my, you know, more contemporary decks. Nine of Cups, relinquish control, and the Star. Two of Swords, create boundaries, and the Magician. That's a really good little reading there, isn't it? So yeah, this is one of my favourite pairings also. Okay, and so my last category, I didn't know what to call this, so I've just called it an aesthetic. But this is the Penumbra Tarot, a lovely Ethne and Eris Elizabeth. And in the middle is the Oracle deck, the Urban Crow by MJ Cullinane. And if you didn't know better, to me, these could have been created by the same person. I just think as soon as I saw these two together, I just thought, oh my word. I mean, look at that, look. They could have really been made by the same person. The same person could have done the artwork for them. Or nearly. Do you know what I mean? They've got a very, very similar energy, I think. The Urban Crow is one of my absolute favourite oracles. And I got the Penumbra last year and I just really fell in love with it. It reads so beautifully. It's really talkative, lovely deck. Look, Death, Resistance, and the Crown of Torches, so the King of Wands. Temperance, Trickery, and the Ace of Cups. Look at that, look. The Devil, Play, and the Element of Torches. Don't play with fire, hey? The Tower, Bonds, and the Ten of Torches. The Star, Displacement, and the Nine of Torches. The Hierophant, Balance, and the Two of Torches. I really like that. That's a nice little spread there. Six of Torches, Battle, and Lovers. That doesn't bode well for a relationship, does it? Excuse me. Well, maybe it does with the Six of Torches. The Chariot, Eight of Torches, and Teamwork. Do you see what I mean? What do you think? So this is my last pairing. It's not too bad, is it? What have I done? About half an hour for 16 decks. It's pretty good for me, isn't it? Not too much waffling. Wheel of Fortune, Observation, the World. So which was your favourite pairing? We've had the Inner Child cards, the Forhaxa, the Celtic Elemental, the lovely Seasons of the Witch, Winter, Serpent and Peacock, and the Penumbra with all of their pairings. So let me know in the comments which was your favourite. Do say hello. I would love to hear from everybody and have a go at this tag. It's a lovely tag, especially if we revisit it later in the year just to see if anything's changed or what we're actually using now. So sending you all my love and I'll see you all again soon.